Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Wednesday, June 26th, around 9 p.m. Mountain Time 2024. Take a look at the flooding on McCook Lake in South Dakota yesterday. Absolutely catastrophic. We have more footage for you in just a minute, so buckle up, Buttercup. Keep calm. It's Hunga Tunga Boom time. Extreme weather patterns with heat and flooding are stuck across the U.S., stuck like Chuck. Some call it summer, but apparently the media is fear-mongering about the heat. New Jersey weather, intense thunderstorms could slam the state with 55-mile-per-hour winds, hail, and downpours today, like most summer storms, but the hail is certainly a story. Here's hail in Omaha from yesterday. Take a look at that. That is 4.5 inches easily. And here's a 2-inch plus, some 3 to 4 inch stones. Many hailstones that are mind-blowing coming from the storm yesterday in Omaha. Nebraska much? And here's the reason why. The hail map for Tuesday, June 25th was absolutely insane. 93,181 households impacted by 1 inch or larger hail. 9,129 households impacted by gorilla hail. That is 6 square miles of gorilla hail. That is a large region. And with a region that large, there are going to be households involved. In fact, 9,000 plus. Holy macaroni. Big winter chicken dinner. Omaha, Nebraska. Take a look at the map there. Those are the regions in orange that were the hardest hit. Pine Ridge Reservation, as well as many locations throughout Nebraska and even on the state line there with Iowa. Now, the good news is we have some actual facts to cool down the heat fear-mongering. And these are facts about temperatures in the past. And they should make you very worried about how insane the mainstream media has gone off the chain in recent years. The percentage of the U.S. to reach 90 degrees by June 23rd is among the lowest on record. And that's not all. Here we're looking at June statewide high temperatures on the map. And despite the claims from the climate spin doctors that last week's heat wave was unprecedented in the East Coast, not one single state set a new all-time high temperature record for the month of June. Not one. And if you look around, there are only 2 states in the modern era that have broken all-time records in June. If we go back over a decade, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 additional states. So only 9 states have broken any record high temperatures in the last 2 decades. Can you believe that? If we move it all the way back till the late 1990s, it's just 12 states that have broken records in the last 30 years. High temperature records in June. So, is the media telling the truth when they say it's the hottest June ever? How is that possible when not a single high temperature record was broken in any state? I would say that's a complete fabricated lie. And here's a good reason. On this day, 70 years ago in 1954, there were coast-to-coast heat. It was over 95 degrees in 37 states. Nothing like this is happening right now. Not even anything close to this. This is an actual heat wave, and it was occurring 70 years ago. How do you like them facts? You can shove them right up your, all you climate warming freaktoids. Now we do have footage of the flooding. Take a look at this.
Getting people out of danger. There were some evacuations that happened last night. I know that we had the IMAC team and the Swiftwater Rescue Team out of Sioux Falls and Game Fish and Parks were going door to door, getting people out of dangerous situations. And we lost some houses as well. So my heart goes out to those families that lost their houses. We saw some significant water coming in over North Shore Drive. I know McCook Lake was dramatically impacted, and those homes have experienced some significant loss. There were some.
And here we have some insane footage from Utah. Take a look at this. This is absolute insanity. Flash flooding in the desert is no joke. So if you see something coming, run to high ground immediately. We have some raging floodwaters that, take a look at this. They swept across Guadalajara in Mexico yesterday, literally sending cars down the river. It doesn't appear that anyone's driving. Good news there. And we do have some more footage of the flooding in McCook Lake here in South Dakota. This is only one region was devastated like this. It was about a quarter of a mile stretch on the shore of the lake. So this may look like the total devastation on the lake, but if you look on the far shore there, none of the homes were affected. It was just the upstream side of the lake that had this catastrophic sheet flow, which undercut the roads, rapid erosion, which caused all this destruction. Our hearts, thoughts, and prayers go out to those affected. And we do have some more footage here. We're going to show you more drone footage, unfortunately, coming from the region, showing that devastation. There was a home here once, and that home is, well, in pieces out here in the lake. So there is a long road to recovery. You can see the buried lines there now exposed. It appears as if most of them are still intact, which means they just need to bring some dirt here and fill up the big holes. But the destruction is complete for this house. That is a total loss. Can you imagine what it will take to recover in this region? Please send all your hearts, thoughts, and prayers out to the folks here on McCook Lake in South Dakota. It is well needed. And please don't forget to follow us over at X on Oppenheimer Ranch Project at Diamond the Dave. We want this channel to get 1 million followers in the next year or so, and well, it's going pretty slow. The good news is that since Elon Musk took over, we went from 3,600 followers we sat there for 5 years. And as soon as Elon took over, we've gained over 6,000 followers, 6,800 followers in just 1 year. So good things ahead if you join us over on X. And here's the full forecast. Severe thunderstorms across eastern Montana and the plains. Hazardous heat continues for the central U.S. Severe thunderstorms capable of producing damaging winds and gusts up to 80 miles per hour. Large hail and a couple of tornadoes are possible across eastern Montana into the northern and central plains on Thursday. An enhanced risk, 3 of 5, is in effect, so heed the warnings. Hazardous heat will continue during the afternoon hours each day this week for much of the central states, with several record-tying or breaking highs possible, yet we haven't seen a single one. Here is the GFS model, and we'll move it through. It looks like moderate activity day after day, nothing significant, which is good news. So just normal thunderstorm activity, low-level activity through the rest of the week into the weekend, according to the GFS, which is good news, and lots of moisture being pushed around. Let's take a look at the total accumulated precipitation. You can see what I mean. Goes from nothing to almost an even smattering everywhere in the U.S., except the West here, the deserts of Pacific Northwest and most of California. Bad news for them. Avalanches strand dozens in Chile, Utah's snowiest 2-year period ever. And can you believe that they're still claiming we're all burning up? I can, because it has nothing to do with the facts and everything to do with the brainwashing schedule, which has been going on for decades, which is, well, on schedule. Seismic update. No quakes of note worldwide. Very low-level activity, including the U.S. Some activity near Svalbard, north of Iceland here, 4.4 in the mid-ocean ridge. No other activity. Should be some increased activity in Hawaii as that recharges, and Iceland continues to recharge. We'll get to that in just a moment as we take a quick look at the Vatnajökull, where Bartabunga is up here in the northwest quadrant. We've got some increased seismic activity, low level, but still an area of concern, with another area of concern to the south. Could be some glacial melt moving out as one of these jaculips. Do you see all these finger rivers down here? Those are all due to glacial floods and the melting of the Vatnajökull Glacier. These are the biggest floods in recorded history in modern times, so they are quite significant, and we'll keep a close eye on that as things heat up in Iceland. Here we are over at our Twitter feed at Diamond the Dave on X. After waiting for some more data points over the last few days on the Svartsvengi GPS charts, it's time to post the latest. And you can clearly see now that the uplift is starting to accelerate again. This means that the magma chamber is filling again and eruption is imminent. If we extend this off in just a few days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just about a week and a half or so, the next eruption will begin, just like the last eruption. So, heed the warnings. This will be the 6th paroxysm in several years happening from the same volcanic event. How do you like them apples? Worldwide volcano news, Popo puffing and passing today. Sangay as well. Ibu to 14,000 feet. Sabancaya to 24,000. Kariminsk puffing to 20,000 today. There you can see the report. Nevado de Ruiz to 21,000 feet. Ducono to 8. Reventador puffing and passing. Liwatobi to 9. Ibu to 14. Semaru to 15. And that wraps up worldwide volcano news for the 26th into the 27th. Space weather is, well, looking quite sad. We've got a complete drop down over the last 36 hours, almost into the B range, as if we're headed into solar minimum. And the reason why I say this is the disk is peppered with sunspots, and they are doing nothing. Nothing at all. Not even on the limb, not even on their entry, not even anything. SFI is down, sunspot number is up, and there is no activity. Very telling on the sun. As we can clearly see, there is intense activity on the western limb here, and yet nothing happening in real time as far as flare activity. So the sun has gone quiet, and we do have an incoming space weather event, and let's take a look at that right now. A quick look over at the WSA Enlil solar wind spiral shows that a plasma filament and a coronal mass ejection did come off the sun back here on the 25th, and that will be giving us potentially a glancing blow on the night of the 28th into the morning of the 29th, just 2 days from now. So this could be an opportunity for some low-level aurora activity, albeit a low-level geomagnetic storm could get up to G2, depending on how well they modeled this baby. But this is the only space weather coming our way anytime in the future. China's lunar probe returns to Earth with the first ever samples from the far side of the moon. China's winning. Yeah, and everyone else is losing. The Chang'e 6 spacecraft landed in Inner Mongolia with the first ever soil and rock samples from the far side of the moon. And here you can see those scientists there with the far side of the moon, boom, inside. Why they aren't wearing protective stuff as they're looking inside this craft is anyone's guess, but I do digress. The first soil samples ever taken from the far side of the moon arrived on Earth today. Will China share the data? I doubt it. China's Chang'e 6 spacecraft landed with the precious cargo in Inner Mongolia today at 2:07 p.m. Beijing time, according to state media. There they are. Now, about the Boeing failure that we've been seeing, well, ongoing now for years, and it's only getting worse. Now we're talking about stranded astronauts in space, literally lost in space. And they have a window that's closing. Can you imagine the food's running out on the space station, etc.? They didn't expect these people to be there that long. So we could be seeing a catastrophic failure due to DEI and other garbage going on in the world, which allows complete incompetent people to be shot into space by incompetent companies and they're gobbling up the resources now. And guess who could be the hero? Elon Musk. He's the only one that has the technology to save these astronauts, especially if they can't get off the space station with the current Boeing garbage Starliner, which is leaking in at least 8 different places. Well, we know one thing SpaceX doesn't do is leak, and they've been able to save. Well, anyway, Elon Musk is king, and let's see if these woke tards allow him to go save them. It's on them now. Just like it's on the gassy cows and pigs that now face a carbon tax in Denmark. How stupid are these Scandinavians? They are now taxing humans for farting cows and pigs. A world first. We knew it was going to end up here, and soon the entire population of Earth will revolt against these corrupt governments and take back what they deserve, the planet they live on. And guys, this here is not geoengineering. It is not HARP. It's nothing that you've claimed it is. It's a frickin' shelf cloud. Please, just Google clouds and learn something before you sound stupid in front of billions of people. And that's a boom to knowledge. Most people are so dumb, they will just reshare anything that they see. And that is the state of the world we live in. A bunch of uneducated puppets running around, banging their heads against each other for no reason other than the fact that that's the way the government wants you to be. Uninformed, well, and unemployed. Please share this video with like-minded people. Become a Patreon. Support the work we do and watch all of our podcasts in one place, commercial-free. Click on one of the links below from our affiliates like the Alliance of Native Seed Keepers or the Jace Case. Support your preparedness and support the channel. We love you. Be safe. And we'll see you all in Crestone July 4th.